little pitch for the school, if you would.
Is founding pastor of the church that's happening now, located in Plainfield, New Jersey. And now, the town talker, Reverend Zechariah Jackson.
Well, you know it's good coming to you. This is the Reverend Zechariah A. Jackson from the Church of What's Happening Now, Town Talker Talk Show. I got my sidekick and friend, Reverend Alexander Branch, with me, legal liaison with the NAACP. He got his award this year, and we are very happy for his award. We were going to have a show dealing with a lot of drama that's going on in town, but I guess that show, I don't know what time, know what's going on there. So we just, move on as follows until whatever happens, I can plan the shows, but I can't make people show up. I'm a church that, in truth, is out to get bare facts and help to rebuild the communities. But I can't make people come. I can only listen to them, hear they cry, and open the door. And that's what we do here.
Amen.
Today I want to talk about, I'm going to, do a free advertisement here. Show us your school spirit. Support Harvest Learning Center. Fall Give-a-thon. Popeye's Chicken, 325 Terra Road, Scotch Plains, New Jersey, 07060. I guess all of us know where Popeye's Chicken is.
Right there by Sears.
We're the only one that have, there's only Popeye's Chicken. I thought it was Plainfield. Join us on Friday, October 21st, 2008, between 4 p.m. and between 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. 20% off of your bill will be donated to Harvest Learning Center for Mass Media. Today's youth, tomorrow's technology. Let me say this right here. Please, I beg of you, take your kids by the Harvest Learning School, Media School, because I tell you, when a young person can articulately express themselves, it helps them in so many lights and everything. So I say this right here: if you can, please bring the kids out to the school. Come to the chicken. I guess I want to call it Chicken Fry Friday, Popeye's Chicken. So if you can, please come on by and support the media school, because it's a good thing for a kid to really express itself and get a sense of what goes on behind the cameras and things. And I think that I was so happy when I heard that the school was in existence. I was with Harvest, I think, a year and a half before I even knew of the school. Right. But anyway, when I found out, I had so much support and passed out so many flyers because it's just so important. We have today with us also Steve Hatcher, the chairman of POP Plainfield, New Jersey. How you feeling, Chairman?
Doing pretty good, brother. Zechariah, doing pretty good. Brought my little one with me.
You want to say some words today? Not today, but just keep bringing him. Eventually he will.
Oh,
yeah. So you just said something.
Just said something.
Okay.
He just said something. That's right.
Reverend Branch, you have anything you want to say to the people out there today?
Well, I'm glad that I had a long conversation with my friend and co-hard in the fight.
Okay.
I've marched with this brother. We've gone to Trenton.
Yes.
We've spoken on the steps of the state capitol.
Yes.
And one thing I can say about Steve is he's a personable person. He's a person that you could talk to, and we had a long conversation the other day, and Steve will contest to that, and we talked about such things as the fight and things that we need to do in the fight, how we need to investigate more, because I'm quite sure POP nor does the NAACP want to get themselves caught up in an Al Sharpton, Tawana Brawley situation.
Yes, sure.
And the way that we avoid that is by looking deep before we leap,
Sure.
investigating, trying to find out what the facts are, because what people need to understand is that there's always three sides to the story. Mm-hmm. There's the person who's making the allegation, there's the police side,
Sure.
and then there's the truth. And we need to work hard to find out what the truth is.
Well, you know, Reverend Branch, I'm glad you brought that up. And before we go to Chairman Hatchett here, is that, you know, we want to, in truth, wait and do the investigation. And I think that most of us, the reason why we have reacted so fast in many things, and I agree with you that we do have to do research and stuff and look over these cases before we just run out there. It's just that when they come to us broken, you know. So we're so used to, we don't know, and it's a shame because we don't know what how to weigh the scale.
It's really unfortunate.
And let me say this right here, and I say this right here to those that have come to People Organization for Progress, Chairman Steve Hatchett here in Plainfield. You know, at least, please, I'm not a chairman or anything. I'm a member of POP. I'll just say this right here to you. If the chairman and the group is willing to come out and fight for you, and put their jobs or whatever it is online to come out there to to fight for you, please follow the case all the way out. That's all I ask. Don't leave them hanging because where you may leave them hanging, there's other people that need them, and then minds and things started coming up. Say, hey, well, we weren't here before. Don't do that, please. I beg you, don't do that right there. And even if you have to at some point come and say, you know what, it was my own fault. Please don't, because this right here is an organization. Chairman Ham up in Newark, Larry Ham started, and I tell you, the love that we all have for him and the love he has for the community. Steve is a carbon copy of Chairman Ham, more so than I am. And they go out there and they're out there in bitter cold weather, rain, snow, sun, whatever it is. Don't leave them hanging like that. That's all I have to say. Chairman, you have anything to say?
That being said, in line with Reverend Zechariah, leaving hanging means, for example, if you have the option to go down and file a report, an investigation, file for an investigation with Internal Affairs, then do so. These are your rights. Use your rights. Because, brave people have lived their lives and died to get us out of the back of the bus to give us these rights.
Sure.
And then people have fought for these rights, such as Hatcher and POP and the NAACP, which is a 100-year-old organization. We fought for these rights.
Sure.
So then, people have died for you to have that right. Use it.
Right.
Use it. Because if you don't use it, then, what happens is it looks like the case, it just looks like there's something wrong there. Why didn't you come forward? Why didn't you fill out the necessary paperwork? Why didn't you take the necessary steps? Grant you, sometimes those steps may seem like the system has failed you. But trust and believe that even in, like for example with my case, when I went to trial, the system failed me.
Sure.
But I continued the fight. I fought the case all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court overturned my conviction. Now, if I decided to stop at the trial, I would have did 10 years for nothing.
That's right. That's right.
And I would never have got my conviction overturned. Don't stop fighting. If you're right, continue to fight. Fight with every breath that you have.
That's right.
Fight all the way. And there are organizations like POP and the NAACP who will stand up and back you and fight for you. But you've got to do your part. I tell people all the time, I'm a gun. I'm a civil rights gun. And I'm a precision weapon because I'm pretty good at what I do. Obviously, that's the reason why I received the rewards. But you have got to provide me with the evidence that I need in order to shoot this gun.
That's right.
I hear you.
And the evidence is that facts that support your allegation that you're making. Without facts, we don't have nothing to work with.
You make us look Look comfy. Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, with the People's Organization for Progress, the Plainfield branch, we are going to continue to fight for justice, for peace, and for change. There was an incident that happened just today as I was sitting out there. I just dropped my nephew off here on Watchung Avenue and Front Street, and there was a group of kids that started to beat up on this other kid. They started to pound on this young man. Boom, boom, boom. And then that was about 2 or 3 of them I seen. And then as I get closer, as I'm driving over there, more kids started to come over there. About 7 or 8 kids started to come over there and started wailing on this one young black man. And I got out my car, and when I got out and other people started to come over, the kids ran away. And this one child was left on the sidewalk, bleeding profusely.
Oh, wow.
And it just looks so bad. It's like the struggle still continues. So we have to continue to fight for justice, for peace, and for change. Thank God I was able to get a hold of Mr. Santiago, and he sent the police right down, and they got the ambulance to come right down to try to help to take care of this young man. But Brother Zechariah, it just makes me wonder. I know we got a long way to go, but we can do it better when we do it together.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
the truth.
when we work together.
That is
I
the
mean,
truth.
it's not a one-man thing. It's not a NAACP thing. It's not a POP thing. It's not a Black Panther thing. But we all must come together and fight this together.
That's right.
And, you know, as the game is being stepped up with the election of elected Barack Obama, President-elect Barack Obama, more will be expected out of each constituent. You can no longer go around tearing up your community, blaming this and blaming that. It's time to take on accountability. What are you doing to make it better?
Yes.
What are you doing to pick yourself up? Or I'm going to say it this way, you will be left behind.
You're right.
Because it's getting tired. You know that instead of fighting on the corner, you need to be fighting in the library.
All right.
It's so easy to do other things. You know, like I often tell parents, it's so easy to buy all kinds of toys. But what about making a kid read all kinds of books?
All right.
Which is free.
You're right.
You can get a book 50 cents. You know what I mean? Any garage seller or whatever, library, you can borrow the books or whatever. We have got to change our ways. See, we got to change. We can no longer, you see, come along like people just pulling themselves up by the bootstrap over and over. The bootstrap should be up by now. You understand what I mean?
Right.
You know, it's getting, getting tired.
You're right.
That's right.
Now, I put this church together, Church of What's Happening Now in 2002. And I said I'm going to keep on marching. And even though I don't get the community support as many other religious organizations, but I draw my example from many things. I saw a few years ago a white woman. Now, they're going to say Reverend is racist. I saw a white woman in Africa laying in the trees next to the gorillas to try to understand the gorillas. And she stayed there so long, eventually the gorillas taking her in. So she was able to write all kinds of theses on the gorillas. Well, if I can see this woman that go to this dark continent from wherever she come from, and she can stay out there in the jungle night and day, Reverend Branch, night and day, Chairman Hatcher. If I can see that right there, and I'm sure sometime the gorilla might have slapped her, one of us, bang, but she stayed there anyway. And then after staying so long, they decided, well, maybe we ought to accept her, the gorilla said. And then she got the information. Then I'm going to stay the course to understand you too in our community. Now, I don't go along with the whole scientific theory of the Darwin theory or the evolution of man, but as I read some of those books, I do understand the evolution of behavior.
Okay.
Okay. And now, at this state of the game,